Well, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you might be, and welcome to another Harif lecture. Harif, for those who don't know us, is the UK Association of Jews from the Middle East and North Africa. And we are a very small group of volunteers, and our mission is to raise awareness of the history and heritage and culture of these Jews. And I know we're all consumed by what is happening at the moment in the Middle East. But in order to understand what's happening, it is more important than ever, in my view, to study the history of Jewish communities in the Arab and Muslim world, sadly, all on the brink of extinction. We have a website, www.harif.org, which keeps you up to date with our program of events. In order to receive the Zoom login details, you have to be subscribed to the website. We also have a sister website called Point of No Return. It's actually a daily blog. And it keeps you up to date with the news, and it's accessible from the Harif website. This session is being recorded, and I'm hoping to have the recording up on the Harif website in a matter of hours. And we're also live streaming to the Harif Facebook page. If you do have any questions, please do write them in the chat at the bottom of your screen. Please do use your own name. Don't use, iPad or iPhone or Wonder Woman or anything like that. Right, so on to the subject of our lecture. Is Yaron still there? Yeah, I think our lecturer may have popped out just for a few minutes, a few seconds, hopefully. I'll just wait for him to come back.
Right, he's back. I'll start on mute.
So the subject of tonight's lecture, I think Yaron is back, isn't he? Is the book that Yaron Ran has written, which is called the Last Rich Jew of Damascus. You probably can't see it here because it keeps disappearing. The Last Rich Jew in Damascus. Now, the lecturer tonight, we're very pleased to have with us, joining us from Los Angeles, and he is Dr. Yaron Ran. He will be presenting this book. He is an orientalist specializing in the history of Damascus Jewry in the 20th century, as well as the relationship between the Zionist movement and the Arab world. And he completed his doctorate on Eliyahu Sasson, who was the Yishuv diplomat who reported on Syrian affairs to Ben-Gurion and Moshe Shertok. And Ran's research into Yossef Laniado took him to London, Paris, and Mexico City, and he will cast light on a remarkable individual who was forced to navigate between shifting worlds.
Right, we have lost Yaron.
So,
thank you very much. Can I begin?
Yes,
yeah.
Please do.
Okay, thank you for inviting me to speak about my book. I try, as I told you before, I don't know the knowledge of all the people that with us now, and I try to do my best to find and give information that everybody know about what am I speaking. Everybody hear me?
Yes, everyone can hear you.
Okay. Looking about the Laniado or Laniado family, I'm talking about that in the continuation of my literature. The first time that I find something about them is in 1790. Is the day that Yossef Laniado, the man, the famous name from the Damascus plot, that he born in that time. It means this family, in any way, they was in Damascus in the 18th century, but the roots of the family is coming from Spain or anywhere in this area after the liberation of the Jewish from Spain. I get the idea to write this book because some woman in Israel, her name is Ayala Laniado, phoned me one day, or phoned Professor Yaron Ran, as you know his name, and because her father's name is Yossef Laniado, and he don't know nothing about the family, that the origin of the family is from Damascus. And Professor Ran told her, we don't know much about Laniado family, and because the first time that I write something about him in details, it's in my book, The Arabist. The Arabist is a book about Eliyahu Sasson, Jewish from Damascus, that was the head of the intelligence services of the Zionist movement in the middle of the, in the first quarter, second quarter of the 20th century. Okay, it's been, I know nothing about him, only about connection that he had with the Jewish agency, like an arbitrator between the Syrian leadership and the Jewish agency around 1938, 1939, and but nothing about the family. Now, the name of the family, the relatives of Yossef Laniado, like the grandson and the granddaughter of his brother Taufik, that they're living in London, Joe Dweck and Dennis Katan and other people, say that it's Laniado. It's not Laniado. Laniado is a family from Halab or Aleppo, and Laniado, this is the Damascus family. I find, by accident, I say, the papers of the firm, and they say in French, Yihya Laniado and his fils, or his sons. But the Arabs called him Laniado, and everywhere in the Jewish, in the Eretz Israel Jewish newspaper, in Ivrit, in Hebrew, you find Laniado. The Arabs call him Laniado. It's mean, I don't know what's happened. It's mean, when I talk with Ellen Pach, he's saying maybe Italian official change, but or the Arab cannot say Laniado, but in the documents, like the passport of his daughter Adele, I find Laniado. Okay, this is the story of the name, and my book say Laniado because everywhere in the academic and around the world, they know it like the name of Laniado. I coming back to the. I not find any documents from the 70s or the 60th century about the family, but I know that the family have relatives with Harari family. It's a famous family in Damascus in the beginning of the 80th century. And Yossef Laniado dead in the Damascus plot. He was a merchant, and as I find in the Sharia court in Damascus, say that his son, his name is Moses, and Moses, the son of Moses, or the grandson of Yossef Laniado, his name is Yihya. It's I don't know if this is the true or not the true, but what is going to what is important for us is the man that his name is Eliyahu Laniado. It's the Eliyahu Laniado is the father of Yossef Laniado, because he is the man. Maybe I have to write the name of the book. It's not of the last rich Jewish in Damascus. It's half of the story is about Yihya, that he built all the riches of his family, and he bring the money, he do all the good business in Damascus, and half of the book is about him and half of Yossef Laniado. But for stop for a minute to understand the situation, what's happened, because in the beginning of the 19th century or in the 18th century too, Laniado is in the second circle of the non-Jewish in Damascus. The families that were well known in that time is Lisbona family or Stambuni family or Fahi family or Anjil family or Tubi family. What we called, people call them the Rothschilds of the Middle East, or the Rothschild. And this family fall down in 1875 when they lose all the money of the that they, because the Ottoman Empire fall down, and there is a lot of family looking. There is, I think, until now there is not enough investigation about what's happened in the time that these families fall down. There is a new research by Dr. Aviv Deri for NYU about Stambuli family. She find a lot of documents in a British archive and another archive in the Ottoman Empire that show what's happened with this family. But to understand the situation, what's happened after the 1875 is only one man stay in power, or he is interfering with the Ottomans in a high level. His name is Meir Lisbona, from the Lisbona family, because the Stambuli family, as Dr. Aviv Deri show us now, she's in a very big fight with the Ottoman Empire about the money that they lose, all the bonds that they have in the Ottoman treasure. But Meir Lisbona was in power until the beginning of the 90s of the 18th century, 1890. But after that, we find in a good position Eliyahu Laniado. Eliyahu Laniado not lose a lot of money the time that the fall down of the economic of the Ottoman Empire, and what's happened is that he is in a good position in the time of big changing in what's happened in the empire, because around the 60s of the 18th century, it's mean I said the 19th century, I want to say 1876. What we call the process of Tanzimat. Tanzimat, it's mean like changing or in the structure of the control of the inside the empire. It's mean until this time all the power is in Istanbul, and now they're giving more and more power to the what we call the Valayet. Valayet, it's mean like district. It's mean they're giving more power to these people, and they send a good official to that area. It's mean indeed in that time, Eliyahu Laniado growing up, and there's another family that is origin is from Algiers. His name is Totach family. We know that from the sigil or for the Ottoman papers in archive, and another sources is when somebody write an article about there is a murder of Jewish for a Christian child in 1890, and he said that the people that participate to murder of this Christian child is people that coming from the family Laniado, Totach, Morali, Adas, and Abulafia. Now, Yishuv Laniado built his power in 2 or 3 circles. One circle is he married in 1869 Bulisa Abulafia. Abulafia, as you know, is Yitzhak Abulafia, was the son of Mushon Abulafia that became Muslims in the Damascus plot. But his grandfather is Chaim Nissim Abulafia, was the great rabbi or the Chacham Bashi in Palestine in that time. And Yitzhak Abulafia come back to Damascus in 1961. He was what we call Av Bet Adin, and after that, in the beginning of the 80s of that time, he became the Rav Rashi, or what we call the Chacham Bashi of Damascus. Now, the marriage between Yishuv Laniado and Yitzhak Abulafia, giving Yishuv Laniado not only this power is coming from the religion circle and from the finance circle, and he is the man that finance all the Talmidei Chachamim, what we say that around Yitzhak Abulafia, and like what Shmaya Angels, the famous Shmaya Angels, do it before and give him power in the community too. It means this situation is coming beside another function that he had in that time. It means he was a member of the Chamber of Commerce in Damascus, and in one of the courts, and all his life it's around what we call the Syrian elite, the inside Syrian elite. And after Meir Lisbona get down in the beginning of the 19th, a new controller, a new man coming from Istanbul to be the what we call the Moshel of the Valayet. His name is Nazam Pasha. Nazam Pasha was in Damascus between 1897 to 1897 to 1909. It means it's 10 years that he make a lot of change in Damascus. For example, the district consul, and this is the institute that managed Damascus in that time. The head is Nazam Pasha, and around him is 3 Muslims, 2 Christian, and 1 Jew. And this Jew is Yishuv Laniado. And you know, the men that, or the people that sitting in this council manage everything in Damascus in that time. They get a lot of power, and they became rich and rich. And Yishuv Laniado became a rich man. Abraham El-Maliach, that coming to Damascus in the beginning of the second this of the 20th century, said that is 2 big families and richest family that have more than 500,000 francs. His name is Laniado and Totach. Now the power that he get from sitting in this council near the Nazam Pasha, and we find some. He give a loans to Nazam, and this give him a lot of credit. These people in the council, they control all the economic life in Damascus, and the marriage of Abulafia family from that side and sitting in this place in the other side make him the very dominant man, and he can do what he want. I didn't want to get in to show how they make the loans and what they do with in Damascus, but they like the two big, they call them the two big bankers. They're giving loans in a 20% credit and 25 and 30%. They became very rich in that time. It means this basket of connection make him very rich, and they dealing with giving loans, and for other side banking issue, and but they not go outside for this or for dealing with real estate, because when the electricity company, for example, built in Damascus in that time, they not buy bonds for this. They call it a spectacular investment. It means they want the money in their hands, and they want to see the real estate and not more than that. Now we came in that time. His son, his big son, Yossef Laniado. He born in 1874, but he married to Bahia Tubi. Bahia Tubi is from this family is like Tubi and Stamboli and Ismona. They fall down, but the names of them like Fahri and the others, they say it's they marriage between them, between the family. For example, Yossef Laniado married Bahia Tubi, and after that, in 1920, for example, his daughter Adele married Jacques Stamboli, the son of Stamboli family. And another example, one of the daughter of Yossef Laniado, I think his name is Laila, I don't remember. She married Nissim Fahi, that was the manager of the Alliance school in Damascus. I not mention another things, that in this time when Abu Afia was in power and Laniado was in power, they make a big change in the community, because these people, the two of them, support that the interest of coming of Alliance or Kiach to Damascus is a big change, because they understand. And Yossef Laniado, when he's 60 years old, is one of the first people that studying in a school of Alliance, and they continue all the time to support this school. I can say that in the time of the First World War, the connection with Jamal Pasha in Damascus, out of the Zionist people, like architects and other people that serve in his commander in Damascus, but from the Jewish community, or the men that make the connection with him, with Jamal Pasha, it's Yossef Laniado. For example,
Sorry, Yaron, can you just explain who Jamal Pasha was? And was he the governor, the Ottoman governor in Palestine? Is that right?
Yeah, it's in Palestine and Syria together. It's Syria together. He stay in Damascus, but the main place that he stays in Damascus, Jamal Pasha. And I don't know how to say it in English, but the fourth army of the Ottoman in this area is in Damascus, and is main time in Damascus, not only in Palestine. Okay, and for example, when the grandfather of Aleph Bet Yoshua, it's a very famous author in Israel, want to release from the army 250 people from Jerusalem, and he come to Damascus. He cannot see Jamal Pasha without Yishuv Laniado. The same things David Yalin, that a very famous intellectual that depart from Israel to Palestine. When he come in the beginning of 1917 to Damascus, he said that nobody can meet Jamal Pasha without the arbitration of Yossef Laniado. And for example, all the money that coming from the United States, and through Chaim Nachum was the head, the big rabbi of the empire in Istanbul, money that they sent to the poor Jewish community in that time, all the money is coming to Yishuv Laniado and his son Taufik, for example, and they bring it to the poor men on the area. Now this is I stop here for a minute because Yishuv Laniado dead in March 1919. It means this is 5 months after, or no, more than 5 months. It's 5 months after Faisal coming to Damascus. Faisal is the Hashemite king that coming with the British when they occupied Damascus from Jamal Pasha, and Yihya is dead. But in any case, who is replacing is Yossef Laniado. Now, when the Syrian elected the first parliament in Damascus in June 1919, Yossef Laniado elected to be a member of parliament in the parliament of Faisal. Now, if I not can get in details, but you have to understand the situation. The system of the election is like the Ottoman system, and the people that coming with Faisal is coming from the national movement, the Syrian national movement. But the system in that time, that the elite, like one of the leaders of the Kurdish, his name is Abdelrahman Youssef, and the family of Muhammad Azzam, and the very high position religion men, family of Al-Husseini, those people, they acting together to keep the power, and they take Yossef Laniado together with them, and they make they go to the election, and they have 14 representatives from Damascus, and the people that coming from the what we calling the Istiklal, or the national movement, people that after that we call them in Arabic Kutla Wataniya, they coming power only on the mid of the 30s. They taking only two positions. It's mean this elite know how to keep the power because they control all the economic in Damascus in that time. And Yossef became a member of parliament only because his father Yihya died 3 months before there is a new parliament in Damascus. It's mean what I want to say, that that all the power that he get is getting for Yihya. He is the man in the family that making the money for the family, the status of the family. I think everything, because as I show in the next 2-3 minutes, Yossef Laniado, he lose all what his father give him in the mid of the 30s. Now we have to coming now and to understand what's happened. It's mean when Yossef Laniado coming to position and replace his father, all his activity is inter the conservative Syrian elite. It's mean, but in that time there is the Zionist movement. They have a very good connection with Faisal and the people that around him. But Laniado, there is no Zionist orientation. It's mean in that time when Faisal coming to Damascus, the Jewish built a basket of Hebrew and Ivrit schools in Damascus, and there is a very good connection between Faisal and Chaim Weizmann and all this story around that. But Yossef Laniado not interesting in that. He interested to keep his power, economic power, in the inter-Syria elite. And for example, when the King Crime Committee, it's mean the committee that sent it by the Hever Haleumim, but it's been to see what is the situation and who the Syrian population want to control Syria in that time. Yossef Laniado was one of the members of the Syrian delegation, and they are recommended to have a Syrian independent state. And they say they didn't want that the Zionist movement can have a state in Palestine. And in that time, we have a very big fight with Abraham el-Maliach that coming from Palestine to Syria and make a delegation for Totach family and other family, and they bring him together the two masters of the high school is Yehuda Bula and Yoel Yosef for the father.
Sorry, Yaron, can I just stop you there? So if I understand you right, there is a conflict between the old Syrian families represented by Yossef Laniado and the Zionists who come in and who have quite a lot of support, do they, in Syria? Is that right?
Yes. It's mean Yossef Laniado and not see himself like a part of the Zionist movement. He see all what it's the main issue in his life is the economic of the family, the financings, and how to keep his power inside the Syria elite with
right.
the strong family. And he do a good job because this family get the majority in the parliament of Faisal, and they can stay in power until they fall down only on the mid of the 30s. But and I can try to show what's happened that. But this is the situation now. Okay.
And can you explain about Faisal, because he was promised the throne of Syria, wasn't he? And then what happened to him?
To what happened to who?
To Faisal. What happened to him? Because he was promised the crown.
You have to understand the situation. Faisal coming with the British. The British control everything what's happening in Damascus in that time. Okay, I speaking about October in 1918 and until November in 1919. It means this is the time that the British was in Damascus. After that, they left. Faisal stay alone until July 1920, and after that, the French coming. Now, in that time, Faisal tried to make a coalition of powers that help him to stay in power. It means the people that around him, it's an advisor and blah blah blah. It's from the what we calling the Leumim. It means like the how can I call it in English? It's mean the national Syrian movement. But the power in Damascus is in the hand of the old elite, and they want that Syria be. They say, okay, we want to be with the Sultan, with Faisal, everything, it's okay, but we want to be independent. We didn't want that another colonial power can control us, okay? And the people that coming from Palestine to this committee, what we call him King Crane. This is the names of the people that
King Crane Commission.
What?
It's the King
Crane Commission. Yes. Now looking, I this is the situation, but Yossef Laniado continue in this way until the middle of the 30s. It's mean all the time, all his activity is to be with these people that have the power. And what's happened is to make the long story short, that when the French coming in July 1920, he knows how to pay the money and to keep his status in that time, and to find himself inside the internal circle of people that elected to what we call the administrative council, the French administrative council. After that, becoming the government of Syria. The governments of Syria in the time of the French mandate, all the people coming from this family that control Damascus before the British coming. It's mean Taj ad-Din al-Husseini from the religious side, Muhammad al-Azam, and other people that from the old elite family. I try to show what's happened in that time. Laniado in the 20s trying to keeping the money of the family, continue with his bank issue and do things like that. And this is the reason that keeping the representative the Jewish community in the Syrian parliament in all the elections that's happened in Syria in that time, in 1928, in 1932, and after that. It's mean I want to say that his orientation, not a Zionist orientation, we saw it too in the education system in Damascus. It's mean all the time Yossef Laniado support the alliance, and when the Zionists coming, for example, the first man that beginning the Ivrit education, it's Abraham el-Maliach in 1910 to 1912. He was married the daughter of the big rabbi of Damascus in that time, Yaakov Danon, but they tried to put a Hebrew, but Yossef Laniado not support them. It means he wants to the continuation of the alliance, and it's a very big fight between two them about that. El-Maliach that have a lot of power in the newspapers in Israel, Doar Hayom, and the beginning in Haaretz, but after that Doar Hayom, all the time he write bad articles about Laniado because they have a personal fighting between one each other. After that, he was in Damascus in the time of the King Crane committee, and after that, in the revolt of 1929 in Israel, and the killing in Hebron and blah blah blah. Yossef Laniado not say good. He say I have to representative the Arab position and not the Zionist position. And there is a long articles and in the newspaper in Eretz Israel about these things. But Yossef Laniado want to keep his position. Now,
yes, but he did start to help the Zionists, didn't he, in the 1930s?
No, I coming to this point now, and try to see see until 90. This is he is it's like to be ambivalent. It's not, but for example, I try to show what's happened between him and the Zionists, and I say two sides to the coin. It's mean I speak about the Hebrew education. I speak about King Crane. I speak about the revolt of 1919, and but something happened in the I think around 1933, because he have a very big opposition in the Jewish community, because half of the community was a Zionist. I mean, the Chalutz doing things inside. And in this time, you show now, this is El Maliach and Sasson and Sharet, but before, you see the picture of Avraham El Maliach. And before that, you see the picture of David Pinto. Half of the community was a Zionist, or they supported Zionism. For example, Yosef Farhi, that was from Farhi family, and together with him, this is David Pinto. It's Dr. David Pinto. They becoming in power in 1933, and they threw out Yossef Laniado from the Vada Kehila, what we say, the
Community Council.
Yeah, the Unity Council. But this has happened only because two things. Most of this power of Laniado coming, as I said before, from the French regime and from the elite, the Syria old elite. But now what's happened here? Two things happen. In the middle of the 30s, Yossef Laniado becoming ill. I don't know specifically what is ill, but he is not. His function is becoming very bad. At the same time, he loses all his money. I don't know, and I have no documents about his business. Only I can say that I can say that he loses money, but he do some mistakes, business mistakes, and in that time, David Pinto and his friend from Mizrahi family and other families take the head of the community council, and he goes outside. But I want to come back. I speaking until now all what he do against the Zionism, but the Zionist movement need him, because he have the connection in Syria, and he have the money, and he is the man that can do things with the High Commissioner. He can do things with the Syrian government. For example, okay, when the Jewish agency, like and Pika and Yika, this is the community that buy lands in Israel from Arabs. When want to do things like that, there is a lot of lands in the north of Israel that in the hand of the sons and the grandsons of this Syrian elite, the family of Abdel Rahman, the family of Abdel Kader al-Jazairi, and they have a bad situation in that time, and they lose a lot of money, and they want to sell all these lands, and the only man that can make connection with the Prime Minister of Syria for the people inside is Yossef Laniado, and they do it with him. This is one example. Another example, when Arlozorov in 1931, 1932, 1933, before he murdered, he wanted to try to make a connection with the Syrian government. He sent a man, his name is Victor Jacobson, to Damascus, and all the connection that Victor Jacobson do, he do it through Yossef Laniado, for example. Okay, and another example, when Eliyahu Sasson coming to work in the intelligence services of the Zionism in 1934, there is a big meeting of the Istiklal, the head of the Palestinians and the Syrian and the Iraqi national powers in Jerusalem, and Shertok want to know what they're talking about, what they want, what they're doing here. They need information. The only man that Sasson can speak with him, that he have the power to give him the information, is Yossef Laniado. Okay, and now if we continue with that, I make a stop here about this relation with Zionism for 1 minute, and I have to say that in 1935 there is a lot of demonstration in Syria and the people that was around Faisal in the 20s becoming again to power in 1936, 1935, 1936, what we call it in Arabic the Kutla al-Wataniya, or it's mean the
national bloc, is it?
Yeah, yes, the national bloc. And Yossef Laniado is very clever, very clever. He knows that they are negotiating with the Zionism. He knows that the prime minister of France at that time is Leon Blum. Yes, you know that. About his name is the kibbutz in Farm Blum. It's on the name of Leon Blum.
Yeah, he was the prime minister of France.
Yeah, and Yossef Laniado know how to cross the street and leave the family of Taj al-Husseini and the old elite, because the situation of all the elites is coming down, and he gives his power to the national bloc. He have a very good connection, I have to say, with El-Bakri family. El-Bakri family is one of the strong family in Damascus. The name is Nasib El-Bakri and Fawz El-Bakri. There's the sons of Atal Bakri that Yahya Laniado, his father, have a good connection with him, and he give the power to them. And in the election of 1936, okay, he goes with them, with the bloc of the Kutla al-Wataniya, or the national bloc, and he elected to the parliament again. Now you have to understand, all the Jewish community is against him in that time. They're meeting with Faris al-Khoury from the leadership of the national bloc, and for the Jamil Murdam, that he is the candidate to be the next prime minister of Syria. And the two of them, tell them without doubt, we can only want Yossef Laniado was the representative, the Jewish community, nobody else. They said they didn't want him. We wanted Daoud Totach, or we wanted Mr. Pinto, but they say no. In our hard time, Yossef Laniado come and be with us. Now he is very ill. He has no money. He loses his money. And we want that he keep his salary and his life. And he is continue to be a member of parliament without the support of the Jewish community. Now look, I try to finish and to see to give coming back to the Zionist point of view. What's happened in that time in 1937, 1938? Or I say it like that. In October 1937, the Mufti Haj Amir al-Husseini left Palestine. Okay, after the big problem that he had with the British here, and after the big revolt here, and he going to Lebanon, and his friends and the leadership of the Palestine movement going to Syria, and they making a center of terror in that time. Now the Syrian people, for example, the big family, or the most important family in Damascus is Al-Bakri family. Nasib coming back is a hero of the Syrian revolts against the French in that time, and his brother was Muzhar al-Bakri, was the commander of the police in Damascus. They have around a lot of power, and our interest, the interest of Ben-Gurion and Moshe Shertok, and all the intelligence department, or what we call the Arab department of the Zionist movement, is how to find people that can help us to understand what's happening in Damascus in Lebanon. And Yossef Laniado make the connection between the Nasib al-Bakri and the Minister of Finance after that, Lutfi al-Khafar, and between them and Ben-Gurion and Moshe Shertok. But you have to understand, he not do it only, or I say not do it for Zionists to like Zionism or something like that. It's mean Nasib al-Bakri get a lot of money from
he paid him. He paid him.
Yeah.
Paid him intelligence.
Yes, he put himself like an arbitrator between the Zionism movement and between these people. And I have to say that all the information that I get about that, it's from the papers of Eliyahu Sasson. That was the the man that sent it by Ben-Gurion and Moshe Shertok to Damascus to make all this connection. And he is very nervous about Laniado, because Laniado doing things that he not get permit from Zionists. What is interesting him is how to help Nasib al-Bakri and how to be in connection with him. But we have to stop and say Nasib al-Bakri give a lot of information. The Zionist movements have a lot of times the information about the terrorist people that come into the borders. With Sasson going, Reuven Shiloach, that was another man that doing with intelligence, they take the information, giving the information to the British, and the British a lot of times kept these terrorists on the border, and there is a lot of activity that he do with them. But this is what's happened until the end of the 30s. But after that, he becoming more ill and ill. I have no information about him in the beginning of the 40s. He died in 31 of December 1944, and we have to say that looking what's happened with him in 1920, his daughter Adele, that married Jacques Stambouli, left to Egypt, and his brother Taufik left to Lebanon. It means the family he stay alone with his wife in Damascus, trying to keep his connection in the elite. He lose his position in the Jewish community in the beginning of the 30s, and it means what has happened to the family. You know that his daughter staying with his husband in Egypt until the end of the 40s. They living to Paris. They're staying in Paris. This is one of his son, Jacques.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And his another Jacques Stambouli is staying another son of Adele, his grandson. Robert Stambouli, I don't know what's happened with him. He coming to Israel in 1951 and he suicide. He coming to serve in the Israeli defense. Something happened to him, and all the status of this family getting down and down. And he is when he loses all his business in the middle of the 30s, he influenced Taufik too in Lebanon, because Taufik want to keep the name of the family. He want to give back money to people that Laniado lose the money for them, and you see, this is the end of the story of the last richest family in Damascus.
Right. Well, I'll stop you there. But thank you very much indeed. I have a few questions actually, which is like I'm amazed that Zionism was so powerful in Syria when you compare it to what happened to the Zionist movement in Iraq, for instance. I mean, there was a very small Zionist movement in Iraq, but it was more or less suppressed in the early 1920s. And yet, what you're saying is that the whole community virtually in Syria was pro-Zionist. You had people coming in and out like El Maleh and Eliyahu Sasson and you know, and they were all kind of more or less openly promoting Zionism. They had Hebrew schools. You know, it was like a parallel system to the Alliance, isn't it?
Yes, of course. Looking, but the Hebrew education was in power in the time of Faisal. Okay, and but when the French came in. As you understand, the Alliance coming back because they think that all the Zionist people that staying in Damascus, it's like an agent of the British, because the Zionist movement together. In 1922, Rivlin, that was the master of the women's school, the girls' schools, come back to Palestine in 1923. Yehuda Burla, the big hoster, coming back, and they closed these schools because you know there's connection between the Alliance and the French regime.
Absolutely, yes. So of course the Alliance was considered a branch of the French government in a way, wasn't it? Because it was
Yes,
set up.
and then Yossef Laniado all the time, he support with money and everything, only the Alliance, is not having any connection to the Jewish, to the Hebrew schools like that. Because the Hebrew schools, we support them, is the education department of the Jewish administration, what we call in Vaad Tzirim, or the Anhala Zionit in Jerusalem.
Right, right. That's fascinating. And what you mentioned about the land purchases was also fascinating, because I think in your book you explain that some of the landowners defaulted on their loans to people like Laniado and other banking families. And that's how Laniado and the Jews managed to end up owning land around Damascus. Isn't that right?
Yes, it's looking the families that have this land in Palestine and in the Golan Heights. It's two families. It's a family of Abdel Rahman Youssef, that was the leader of the Kurdish community in Damascus, and another one, it's a very famous one. His name is Abdel Kader al-Jazairi, the head of the revolt in Algiers. That coming to
actually, Abdel Kader keeps popping up in Harif lectures, because as we know, he escaped Algeria, didn't he, in the middle of the 19th century?
Yes, but the grandsons of these big leaders, you know, as it's happened a lot of time in history, they lose all what the grandfather doing, and they're in a bad situation, and they want to sell the lands. And Yossef Laniado is the friend of them. He's put himself like an arbitrator, okay? And right. I'm sure that he get a good money from that. But the big problem is that I find here in all the documents that I see it in the Zionist archive. I not have a documents from Damascus, from the family, okay? It's only the only letters that Laniado sent to Palestine, okay? But the inter papers, I haven't find it, because it's where is it, you know?
So you mean you have no proof that Abdel Kader sold his land to the Jews?
No. There is two organizations in that time that dealing with it. I don't know if you know the name, the PICA and the YICA. This is the name of the group. Right. It's with the dealing. It's Yoshua Henkin and other Jewish people, and the Algerian have near Har Tavor in the north of Israel. There is four farms in the Golan Heights. The family of Abdel Rahman Youssef have a lands. The Jewish want to buy it. Okay, to buy. They want to widen the Jewish entity, and the way looking. You have to understand the time. The prime minister have to get some money. The president of Syria have to get some money. You know, and these people have to. But the man that can dealing with all these people and can speak with them is Yossef Laniado. He's one of them.
He was the go-between. In a way, he's like the classic Jewish stadlan, you know, like the court Jew who would liaise with the government.
I don't know. Yes, yeah. It's like that. And I don't know how to say it in English. Maybe somebody can translate it. But El Maliach called him the Jewish of Maya Fita. You know what is Maya Fita? Maya Fita.
Yeah, sort of a bit like a capo, really. Is someone who betrays the interests of the Jewish community and acts in favor of the regime, perhaps.
Yes, you have to understand that family like that, it means they want to keep her status in the inter Damascus elite. Okay, it mean you have to understand, like after the big families, the big famous families like Stambuli go down and Lisbona go down and Angel go down and Tubi go down. They left. But looking, there is another model for a family like him, a Totach family that very Zionist, okay, and they do a lot of things for the Zionism. But it's mean this is the situation.
I think the word mayafit also has the element of toady groveling to the the powers that be as well, isn't he? It's got this element of, you know, that you kind of humiliate yourself in order to appease the government. Would you agree with that? Yeah.
Looking, the most criticism about Laniado and his faction that time coming from El Maliach and Sasson, people that support the Zionists and this side, and this is the only sources that you have, or this is the main sources that you have, and yeah. I have to check all what they say very carefully, you know, because they are against him.
Yes.
But in the time that they need him, like Sasson, he goes with him.
Right.
It's ambivalent, you know.
Yes. So he's a bit of a politician. He's sort of trying to weigh up where his interests lie, you know, whether, one way or the other. I just wanted to show the magnificent house where he lived, the Laniado Stambuli house, which I think became the Alliance School for Boys. Is that correct?
Yeah. This house building by Stambuli family, and when Stambuli loses money, his wife trying to sell it. In the first stage, after Stambuli loses money, he was the Alliance School until 1903 that Laniado coming and buy the house from the wife of Stambuli.
Yeah, and we've got some other photos of the house.
And I think in the 40s or in the end of the 30s, Laniado sell this house to American entity or something like that, and after that, somebody Muslim entity buy it, and who is sell it? It's Sabri Laniado. Is the son of one of the brothers of Yossef Laniado, Salim. His name is Salim.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Actually, magnificent house. Do we have any information about the state of it today?
No, I don't know nothing about what's happened today inside. Maybe Alan Farhi knows.
Maybe Alan might know. Yes. We might ask him a bit. I know. Alan, would you have any idea?
I think the house still exists, but I don't know who's using it.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's a school or it was a school at one time, and then it was converted to something else. But I have no idea at the moment who is physically using the building.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely magnificent, though.
Let's not forget that the Syrian government, if a house belongs to somebody and it's abandoned, they just close it to avoid squatters and to avoid anybody sneaking in and damaging it.
They've done that a lot to the Jewish properties, haven't they?
Yeah, the Jewish property, correct.
But not because
even though, for example, the Farhi Beit Raphael Farhi was no longer owned by Jewish interests; it's owned by Syrian citizen.
Yeah.
But they lived in London, so they just closed it since 2000 COVID time.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I think Joe has got a question. Lawrence, do you want to unmute him? Yeah. So. Yeah, just
Yaron, I just want to thank you for that nice presentation. I'm afraid I'll have to peel off. I have something to do, so I won't be able to participate in the Q&A at the end.
Yes.
Thank you.
Anyone who has any questions, please do type your question in the chat, or perhaps put your virtual hand up.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Good, thank you. Could you explain more about King Faisal? Is that the same King Faisal that became the king of Iraq?
It is.
He was he was very pro-Zionist, and he met with Chaim Weizmann. So he was part of the ruler in Syria, and then he went back to Iraq. What happened? What happened to him? How did it happen?
Faisal, first time coming to Damascus, 1915, and he made a very secret meeting in the house of Atta al-Bakri with his sons, Nasib al-Bakri and Fawzi al-Bakri. And these people organized with them all the secret activity to coming to Damascus. And he coming to Damascus from Arabia Saudi in October 1918 with the Australian troop that coming. They put him like the governor of Syria, and they have a parliament in 1919 that I told you before, and Yossef Laniado and Fawzi al-Bakri was a member of parliament. This parliament staying and continue control, but the real control of the country was the British. Now, the British left Damascus in November 1919, and Faisal stay alone in Damascus. But in that time, the people that support him from Al-Fatah group or the national group, trying to live in without influence of a great power, and the French want to be inside. The people of the old elite like Yossef Laniado and other people for Taj al-Husseini and Azam and Abdurrahman Youssef, they want to be looking for compromise with the French. But this is a mess in Damascus at that time. And in July 1920, the French coming and Faisal go to Palestine, and after that going I don't know to where. And the British put him as a king in 1921 in Iraq. Okay, this is the situation.
Yeah.
He was the
And
cousin of King Abdullah.
yeah, there was the big battle of Maysalun, and the French defeated the
Yes.
Faisal and his supporters, and they all went to Iraq at the end. Yeah, okay, the rest is history. So question from Professor Kerem about the Vichy regime. I don't suppose Laniado had much to do with the Vichy regime.
No,
He died soon after.
nothing. Looking, Laniado was very ill from 1936. He's no influence in the parliaments. He's only take a chair. Like one of the members of the Kut al-Wataniya, the national bloc, and they put him on this in this position only that he get money for his surviving. You know, he is in a bad situation, and he is not do nothing. It means he stay. I think his home. I not have any information about what he doing in that time, but I know that is a new Jewish in the parliament. It's in 1943. His name is Ezra Achrak from Khalab. Okay, but nothing Yossef Laniado with the Vichy regime that time. Nothing.
So at this time he was very ill, as you said, and he died in 1944. So can I ask you a question about the nationalists? Like again, comparing with Iraq, we know Iraq became a hotbed of nationalism, you know, just after the 1920s, you know. In fact, a lot of Syrian nationalists went with Faisal, didn't they, to Iraq?
Yes.
But then what about nationalists in Syria? Did they take a back seat until the emergence of the national bloc in the 1930s?
No, and what you asking? What's happened with the national after Faisal left?
The national, yes, yeah.
Yeah, some of them going to Jordan, and they are was the main people that be around Abdullah, the brother of Faisal. Some of them going with Faisal to Iraq, and a lot of them the French regime take to island near Latakia. His name is Arwa, and he's in prison. For example, Eliyahu Sasson, that is the only Jewish in in the Syrian national movement. They call him, the police call him and give him 24 hours to leave the country. It's happened in the beginning of 1922, or to put him in prison in the same night he left Damascus. Now all these nationalists are trying to make a revolt. You know, what we say, the big Syrian revolt with the Druze family in 1925. And I'm not mentioning that, but in that time, from 1925 until 1933, 34, all the time there is a negotiation between them and the French regime. And in all the delegation that meeting the French, Yossef Laniado is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yeah. Gosh, that's interesting. I think we have a question that actually doesn't relate to Yossef Laniado from Elisa about the aliyah of the youth who made aliyah before their parents. Wasn't that aliyah bet, the illegal immigration of children to Eretz Israel before their parents? Was that? Yeah. Can you say something about that?
Yeah, we call this aliyah is aliyat ha'elef. Okay, who is knowing to read Hebrew? If you go to Google and open the web, that his name is Machberet Luzia. Machberet Luzia, Luzia Daftar, or the notebook of Luzia. Luzia is Menachem Luzia. Luzia is one of the most important Zionist the Jewish in Damascus. Okay, David Luzia is a friend of David Pinto, and the two of them working with Sasson about all these intelligence things. His brother Menachem coming in the beginning of 30s to Afikim, to the kibbutz Afikim in the Emek HaYarden, and he with another friends and from the I don't know, it's Aliyah Bet or how they call it, the kibbutzim movement. They bring 1,000 children between 45 to 46. Yeah. Okay, now one of my friends make a PhD now about how the kibbutzim get them and how the life in the kibbutzim in that time. It's a big story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, very interesting. And I have another unrelated question to Yossef Laniado, and that is about the Aleppo pogrom of 1947. Now, if some records say 75 people died and others say nobody died, what is your view? I mean, did anyone die in that pogrom of 1947?
1947?
Yes.
Yossef Laniado.
No, I'm not talking about Laniado. I'm talking about Syrian Jewish history now.
No, I don't know nothing about this pogrom.
You do mention the Aleppo pogrom in your book.
Oh, no, I not mentioned that.
Okay then.
My book finished in 1944.
Yes, yeah. Well, I don't know. But anyway, it seems a controversial subject because we know there was a lot of destruction, burning of shops and houses and everything, but no one really knows if people died, you know, and if so, how many? Yeah. Maybe in your next book.
It's me, you know, Tim, my next book, if I want to write my book about Eliyahu Sasson, what we call the Arabist, it's 700 pages. If I want to write another book about Sasson between 1940 to 1948, it take me 10 years because this man writing every day, 18 hours a day. You understand how
wow. Okay.
I'm sure that he has something in his papers because he was the head of the Zionist intelligence department at that time.
Yes. It's
the pogrom in 1947 is after the United Nations partition of Palestine.
That's right. Yeah. It was November 1947 in Aleppo. Anyway, I think on that note, we will close the meeting. I'd just like to thank you so much, Yaron, That
No
was
problem.
really interesting, and it's something that people don't really know very much about. You know, the Jewish community in Syria, we don't hear an awful lot about it. And of course, it was a very small community in the sort of overall scheme of things. But even so, it's important that, you know, you've done so much to document the story of Yossef Laniado and his life. So thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and thank you all for joining us. I think we'll have the commercial break, and shall we do as is our custom and unmute anyone who wants to say anything?
There's no one there.
So the next meeting will be in 2 weeks' time, on the 7th of November. And we're coming up to the commemoration of the exodus of the Jews from Arab countries and Iran. And we will be interviewing, or I will be interviewing, a Dutch filmmaker who made a film called The Exodus. And he will be showing clips from that film. I think we managed to find the commercials.
I thought the commercial day just takes
Ben Lawrence.
Yeah. And important to have your books translated into English.
Which one?
Yeah, well, all of them really, because we don't have much information about that part of the world.
It's been, you know, it's the book about Sasson that published in 1918, but it's 700 pages to translate it. It costs a lot of money.
Yeah, I can imagine. So this is the next event, a Forgotten Exodus, and of course our big commemoration, which is actually in person in London, but you will be able to follow it online if you're not in London.
Okay.
This is the December program. We go from Baghdad to Turkey, and I think that's it for the moment. Anyone want to say anything? Or shall we?
Thank you, Lawrence,
Go
for the
ahead.
continuous education we need, all of us.
Thank you, Joe. Kind of you to say so.
Thank you very much.
I think that everyone can use it just respect their names first of all.
Yeah, I think it's safe. Okay, so
They've got,
Holly, are you there?
no, they've got some other iPhones, darling. I've got to take them out.
I think you did.
Darling, I've got to take people out.
Okay,
Sorry, just give me a second.
so
Just stop the share.
Okay.
Everyone can unmute themselves.
Thank you very much.
yeah.
Get
Yeah,
rid of-
so I
get
think
rid of
there
spotlights.
may be just a few people who might want to say something. Ariel, do you want to say something? Yeah,
Everyone,
can't hear you. Your sound is not right.
we can't hear you at all.
No.
Holly.
Now you hear me?
Ah,
Yeah.
yes, now we hear you.
Okay, it's the first time that I hear about the community of Damascus. In the 80s here in Talpiot, Mizrach, we have Machon Olim for new immigrants, and a lot of people arrive from Syria also. And but we don't really, I know very little about the Damascus Jewish. From Lebanon we hear, from Egypt we hear, from Iraq we hear, but we know about Aleppo, the Jewish of Aram Tzuba, Aleppo, or the Jew call it Halib. But from Damascus, I know that you can take a taxi from Haifa to Damascus. The only thing that I know, but or to Beirut, but not about the school there. I'm sure Alliance was there and other school, Talmud Torah, but I don't know how many Jews were living in Damascus. I don't know in the Jewry or
The total community was about 30,000, maybe 40,000. Yeah.
in
So,
Morocco.
it was actually a very small community. And
Well,
of course, the Aleppo Jews didn't speak to the Damascus Jews, did they? Still
yeah.
don't.
No,
Elisa is
but-
laughing.
you can have
Where
a
did you live in
can have a
Jerusalem?
community of 15,000 Jews, but it is important to know about it, you know, what with the children, what with the school, what with education, are they speaking other language, Arab in English or Arab in French or something like this. It's important to.
Where do you live in Israel?
I am living in Jerusalem. I am from Casablanca, and we're speaking Spanish in the family. I can tell
My
you.
friend, 1 kilometer for you, there is thousands of documents about the Jewish community of Damascus. You can find it in the Jewish archive, in the Central Zionist archive, in the Archion Medina, what we say. If you take my book, the name is Arabist, about Eliyahu Sasson. You can find all what you want about. It's in Hebrew. If you read Hebrew, I don't know.
Yeah, he does.
It's about all the education, because who is controlled the education, the Hebrew education in Damascus in that time, was the education department in the Zionist movement.
Mm. Okay, thank you.
And
Thank
there
you.
is a report day by day.
Lawrence, I think Holly wants to speak.
Everyone can unmute
Yeah,
themselves.
yeah. Holly, you can
Everyone
unmute yourself.
Everyone can
I'm
unmute
here.
Hi,
I'm here.
Rose.
Yaron,
Hi.
Yaron, I want to thank you very much for the fabulous presentation, the beautiful photographs of your home. Thank you also for alerting me about the Aleppo pogrom of 1947. I will certainly check
Oh,
that out. And of
yeah.
course, Lawrence and Julius, as always. Thank you. Everybody stay well and stay safe. I'm at the airport in Milwaukee, but I'm not flying out. It's just where I am.
Oh, where are you going? No, you're not going anywhere. No.
No, I'm not flying anywhere. It just, my bus dropped me off at the airport and I wanted to see this webinar before I go
Oh.
on to do errands.
We're very privileged that you decided to join us. Thank you very
I'm privileged to be with all of you participants, and Julius and Lawrence and Lynn and our all presenters. And everybody
Thank you
stay
very
well,
much.
stay safe.
Thank you. You too. And
Thank
all
you,
of
Doll.
you.
Thank you.
And all of you. Okay. So I think on that note, we will say goodbye. Thank you very much indeed, all
Bye.
of
Thank
you.
you very much.
And hope to see you next time.